Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ahmed Al-Kureti, and today we're going to start the Teach and Care workshop. Our learning objectives is to uncover the real nursing passion, explore the patient-centered model, explore the nurse's daily challenges of teach and caring, trying to reach a solution for those challenges through group discussion and role plays. Let's start with the first objective, which is uncover the real nursing passion. And this comes with this question: why did we choose to become nurses in the first place? I know there's a lot of answers, but they all fall in the following categories: it's pay, social status, career development, but the most important thing, which I think you all agree with me, that is that we care. We care about our patients. And that's why anyone who's working in the healthcare career cares about the patients, cares to make a difference in other people's lives. Because we could have simply get an equivalent or similar pay, social status, or career development doing anything else other than working in a healthcare career. Before we start discussing how can we become better caregivers, how can we teach and care more for our patients, let's watch those two videos that will give us insights, and after that we'll analyze what are those healthcare providers doing different, or what they are really doing good in what they're doing, so we can learn something from it. So let's watch those two videos.
Most people who work in healthcare are here in healthcare because they want to do good for patients. And I think by telling patients stories really reminds staff of why they're really here.
No better care than the VA. When I got here, I felt wanted. I didn't have any pressure on me, and the nurses were around the clock, always making sure that I was taken care of all the time.
These counselors and these staff members, they truly do care. And if you sit down and explain to them what's really bothering you, they'll listen. They'll get you the help. They have the solutions to your problems.
I've been with the VA for 30 and a half years, so I've dedicated my whole entire career to the VA. I was a medical student here, a medical resident here. I love the VA. I love my patients. I treat them like my family.
Having staff remember that they can make a difference by smiling, by a warm welcome, by a warm send-off, by advocating for a patient, going the extra mile to advocate for them, remembering the small things like noise and food and maybe offering to call the chaplain for them. Every employee realizes that they can be patient-centered in very simple ways.
When this suite was designed, first and foremost in our minds was trying to create an environment which catered to patient privacy. Patients love coming here. As you can see, it's a very luxuriously appointed room. They love the patient privacy, and they love the warm environment. They love the soothing wall murals, and they love the kind of very personalized care that they get. There's no feeling of they're just a number. They get really very personalized care and in a very comfortable environment, a very private environment.
Well, having the focus on patient-centered care really allows you to be humanistic and to realize that this is another human being you're taking care of and to relate to them. So not only are you helping demystify this healthcare system for these patients, these veterans, you also are finding healing because you relate to them as a human being and you yourself get satisfaction from what you're doing because you're dealing with the whole individual, you're dealing with their caregivers and helping them be empowered. And then you have your staff rallying around you to provide you that support.
If it wasn't for the acupuncture programs that the VA is offering, I would be on medication, my quality of life would be greatly diminished, and the side effects of the medication would be affecting me by now?
Personally, I'm a breast cancer patient. I'm a 2-year survivor as of April. To me, it's very personal, and I'm very proud of what we can offer women here.
Every individual in this country who's put on the uniform and bore the stress of being a military person, serving their country, they deserve everything that we can give them to bring them back to their wholeness and their wellness again.
For staff that are just starting their journey in the VA, they can use the model for the proactive components for personalized proactive health. If we were to look at that wheel and start with practices such as the importance of sleep, the importance of wellness, the importance of spirituality, surroundings, healing environments, interactions between staff and patients.
Well, we want you to be physically well. We want to be able to help you in the other aspects of your life, emotionally and spiritually. And so if we can find an easy tool like giving you a cell phone, and that helps you with that, and to me that seems like a no-brainer.
I haven't been in communication with them for at least 5 years as far as the telephone concerned. And when I got the telephone, when the first person I called was my 2 daughters, and let them know that I had a telephone. Now we can communicate now, and make up for lost time.
The way our Patient-Centered Care Steering Committee is designed is that it's around the components of patient-centered care. What's key about the steering committee is the interdisciplinary staff. We have staff that represent unions. We have staff that represent the front line. We have leadership teams. We have veterans. We capture all of the perspectives of this one committee and focus on these proactive components that are very important to veterans.
The care we provide here is transformative. We seek to really listen to our patients, listen to their needs, listen to their concerns, and then empower frontline staff. Take those ideas, take what they hear from patients, and do something with that information.
Realizing how we made a difference in somebody's life. And not just a little difference, a major difference.
This is the first video, but I want you to just keep in mind a few words that has been said here. Patients are not just a number. Focusing on caregivers and listening to our patients. Those are very strong clues to how to become a successful communicator, successful caregiver who knows how to teach and care. We analyze everything in depth after the second video. So let's watch the second one. You make it possible. That's what it says, and that's what we should be all feeling. If we want to group everything we have seen in the 2 videos and call it something, what would we call it? It's patient-centered approach, or patient-centered model, where the patient is at the center and everything else serves that patient. And we have seen some non-traditional means of healing, the total healing concept, not just by medication and therapy, but we have seen recreational therapy, we have seen healthy food, we have seen a lot of things and a lot of support from different groups. So the patient is the center and everything goes around. So that's the patient-centered approach. If we want to go more into details into that patient-centered approach so we can know how we teach and care for our patients, we can analyze it in this way. So the patient-centered model is based on knowing the patient as an individual, being responsive, providing care that is meaningful, respecting the individual's values, preferences, and needs, fostering trusting caregiving relationships, emphasizing freedom of choice, promoting physical and emotional comfort, and involving the person's family and friends as appropriate. Keeping those points all in mind, let's split into groups of 5s, and each group will determine the most common disease states seen by each one of you, the challenges that are faced by each group on regular basis and how the challenges affect their patient relationship, how can each group solve those challenges. So we're gonna uncover the challenges and try to find a solution to them. After the work groups are done, then we were going to do the role plays. Each nurse will perform one role play from the following scenarios. We're going to have a scenario of a newly admitted patient who's anxious, and this is the first time for him or her to be admitted in a hospital, an angry patient who's upset from the delay in the nursing response, a congestive heart patient who will be discharged and require discharge instructions, a COPD patient who will be discharged and require discharge information, a stroke patient who will be discharged and require discharge information, a nurse explaining the blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, blood thinner, and heart failure medications to her patients based on Ask-3 concept. An Ask-3 concept is a well-known concept in healthcare where we encourage our patients to ask 3 questions mostly about their medications. What are those medications, what they are used for, and what are the most common side effects? Other scenarios will be there depending on the findings from those groups. And the nursing team will be provided with names of the most commonly prescribed medications with simple information about its name, dosing use, and most common side effect, so it will help in the role plays. After doing those role plays, each nurse is going to write what was done good, what could have done better, and we try to learn from each one of us their best thing that they have did and try to avoid what they didn't do really good. This is the end of this presentation, and we're going to continue by discussing ways of enhancing empathy and improve communication by Carol Castro.